Antonio Brown back in the NFL with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. Let's talk about this. 1 year, $1 million for one of the best wide receivers. You look at the stats of all time. Is anybody really surprised? Why should you be surprised? Once it came out that, he couldn't play for a team after 8 weeks, I said, week 9, a team's going to sign him. Because, around week 9 is where teams kind of figure themselves out, where teams, might be injuries. Teams see where they need some improvements. Like I said, you look at the stats, one of the best wide receivers of all time. 11,000 plus yards, 1,000 yards in 2011. From 2013 up to 2018, he was dominating. Number 2 and number 1 in almost every single major stat. 181 targets in 2014, 129 catches, 136 catches the next year, 1,800 receiving yards, 1,600 receiving yards, 10 touchdowns, 12 touchdowns, 13 touchdowns, 15 touchdowns. Antonio Brown is a beast. I knew whatever team he was going to be automatically the number 1 receiver on that team. Except for, maybe the Saints, the Falcons, and the Cardinals. Every other team, he's the best receiver on their team. Is not even close. It's not even close. I mean, most of these teams' receivers were in the league when he was in the league dominating. And to me, it really came down to a couple of teams. It came down to, Tampa, which I'm going to get into. It came down to Baltimore. And I think once Baltimore went on and signed Dez, they picked their receiver to go to. With Baltimore, you think to yourself, man, in my opinion, they're one receiver away from being the best, one of the, the flat out best team in the league. They're one dominant receiver away. But do you think, Antonio Brown, perception is reality, and right now he's looked at as, a headache, a guy that may not be able to fit into a locker room. So they got rid of Earl Thomas for that reason. So why bring on Antonio Brown? But I think with the relationship he has with a lot of people in those locker rooms, especially the offensive guys, I thought it would have worked out. I think he has more relationships on that team than Earl Thomas. Hollywood Brown is his cousin. Him and Lamar, they've been working out. In my opinion, if they would have got their hands on Antonio Brown, they would have jumped up to being, honestly, one of the teams, if not the team to beat. They are, a championship contender, yes, but I think Antonio Brown would have been a difference maker. Now, they did sign Dez Bryant. I'll speak on that a little bit. Sign him to the practice squad. I don't think Dez Bryant is going to be an every down wide receiver, but what he brings to you is another target in the red zone, a target on third down, just a big body receiver, that can go get it. And that's what I think they were missing. Antonio Brown is just a flat out baller. Dez Bryant, to me, 31, that's still kind of young. If he's healthy, he might have lost a step. We don't know. Because workouts in the game is two different things. He might have lost a step. We don't know. But I think, Weapon X, nope, that's B-Dog, I'm sorry. The guy that throws up the X, I think he'll be able to be an X factor for this Baltimore Ravens team. But yeah, Ravens were a team I thought would be in contention for Antonio Brown. The Seattle Seahawks, because he was working out with Russell Wilson. But I think they're going to get Josh Gordon back. I'm waiting for him to be reinstated with the NFL. So, that's where I think he's going. So I wasn't surprised that, they didn't get him. I think, if anything, they need to look at defensive guys. Offense is a problem for them. I looked at the Green Bay Packers because, man, they need wide receiver help. But honestly, after they didn't draft a wide receiver in the first round, I'm not surprised they didn't went out and go get Antonio Brown. Honestly, if they're not going to draft, plenty of wide receivers, I don't think they're signing any. Eagles were restructuring contracts. I honestly thought they would make a push to get Antonio Brown. You look at our receivers. D-Jax went out last week. Alshon Jeffrey's a question mark. Jalen Reagor's not going to come back till later down in the season. Same thing with our tight end. So we needed another weapon. I thought they would make a push for Antonio Brown. Am I devastated we didn't get him? No, but I would have loved to have him. But, like I said, Antonio Brown would have been the number 1 wide receiver on any team he went to, and he just so happened to sign with Tampa Bay. And I'm not surprised by that. Him and Tom Brady seem to have a very good relationship. Tom Brady wanted him there in the beginning. I had a feeling he would get himself there. It makes sense to sign him now that he can play, so you don't have to wait week after week after week. You sign him to 1 year, $1 million. Listen. Low risk, high reward. High reward. Because I think he's coming out balling. I think he's fixed all the off-the-field issues. He's ready to come on the field. He's ready to dominate. You look at Tampa Bay right now. They're kind of struggling on third down. 40% more. That's not the best, especially with a great quarterback and all these weapons they have. Godwin, good ones. Chris, He's from Delaware. I don't want to mess up. I keep messing up his name. I go back and forth. But pretty much, he's missed 3 games this year. I think he's a very good wide receiver. But adding another one there, you have Mike Evans. He's been battling injuries. He hasn't been the full healthiest. You have Miller. O.J. Howard, I believe, is out for the year. This team does, in my opinion, need another weapon. So why not go get Antonio Brown? Whether he's the number 1 wide receiver, whether he's getting 5 targets, 8 targets, he's going to be effective. He's going to be effective. And this is a great move by Tampa Bay. A great move by Tampa Bay. And I love it. I love it. I'm glad to see Antonio Brown back in the league because, like I said many a times so far, dude is great. Dude is going to come on the field and arguably be the number 1 wide receiver. And in this passing offense, they have the ability to run the ball, yes. But his offense can kill you with the passes with all the weapons they have. I'm intrigued to see what kind of play calling they're going to have. What wide receiver is going to line up where, because you got a big body and Mike Evans that can go up and get it on anybody. You got a great slot receiver and Goodwin. You got Antonio Brown that can play everywhere. This team is going to be legit. So I cannot wait to see, how they're going to play. He's going to play Week 9 against the Saints. This is a very important game because right now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are first in the division at 4-2. The Saints play this week. They have some injuries with Sanders, with Michael Thomas. If they win and they tie up this week, then Week 9 they're going against the Saints. And whoever wins that, I will say that if the Saints win that, they swept the Buccaneers. So if they take care of business, they're probably going to get the edge in the division. But if the Buccaneers are able to win this and tie it up 1-1 and finish with a better record, listen, they're going to win a division. They're going to be a top 3 seed in the NFC. Buccaneers are 4-2. Do we expect anything less? This team, has its moments. Tom Brady's new, a lot of new pieces. O-line isn't the best, but Tom Brady was only sacked 8 times so far this year compared to, other quarterbacks with bad O-lines being sacked almost every other play. So, yeah, I love this move. Cannot wait to see what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers bring, when they go against the Saints next week in Week 9. Want to see Antonio Brown this year. I honestly feel like if everything goes good for him on the field. Off the field, we know he had his problems. When you talking about on the field, judge what he did on the field. On the field, he is one of the best wide receivers in the game. So he's going to be unstoppable. I want to see how this offense is going to do. And, man, I'm excited to have Antonio Brown back into the league. Now, the question is, where is he going to go next year? If everything goes great this year, next year, he can demand some money. He is the number 1 wide receiver. So I'm just, ready to see how this thing's played out. But listen. Listen. If you think this man is not going to make an immediate impact for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers squad, you out your mind. Tom Brady with all these weapons. And I seen, an interesting little tweet. It said, Tom Brady loses this year. He should not be in a GOAT discussion because he has all the weapons now, no excuses. That's a little too far, but I will say this might be, it might be the most weapons Tom Brady's ever had. It honestly just might be. It might be the most weapons Tom Brady's ever had. So, right now he's having a decent year, 1,500 yards, 64 completion percentage, 14 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's having a very good year, honestly. Very, very good year. So I'm intrigued to see, what this team's going to do for the next 8 weeks. Will they be the number 1 seed in the NFC? We're going to have to wait and find out. But listen, thank you all for watching. Antonio Brown to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's my reaction. I love it. Great sign by the Buccaneers. Great to have him back in the NFL. Hopefully he can keep everything together on and off the field so he can, prove all the doubters wrong. Because honestly, I think all the questions are off the field issues. If he can just quiet those down and perform on the field, there'll be no problem with Antonio Brown. So I'd love to see it. But thank you all for watching. Stay tuned tomorrow. I will have my Week 8 predictions. Week 8 predictions. It's going to be some upsets. Don't worry. But like I said, thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Peace out.